ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you a story not of a name, but of a journey. It's the story of a woman who stands alone, but not without power. She has no friends, yet carries a potential most people overlook. Her story isn't about isolation, it's about transformation. You see, life gives us seasons. Some seasons are filled with laughter and companionship, while others are quiet or marked by solitude. But solitude isn't the enemy. It's the classroom. It's the place where we learn the most important lesson of all, how to be at peace with ourselves. In the absence of friends, this woman learns that the greatest relationship she'll ever cultivate is the one she has with herself. She discovers that fulfillment doesn't come from the applause of others, but from the quiet, steady hum of her own efforts. She invests in her mind, nurtures her dreams, and begins to walk a path only she can see. In a world increasingly driven by likes, shares, and public applause, it's easy to believe that validation from others is the ultimate proof of our worth. Yet this belief traps many of us in an exhausting cycle of seeking approval, where our happiness depends on the fleeting opinions of others. What if, instead, we shifted our focus inward? What if we recognize that true fulfillment and lasting success come not from external validation, but from the steady, deliberate work of growing ourselves from the inside out? At its core, inner growth is about understanding who you are, what you stand for, and the values that guide your life. It's the process of developing your character, sharpening your skills, and aligning your actions with your deeper purpose. Unlike external validation, which is temporary and often shallow, inner growth creates a foundation of self-respect and confidence that no one can take away. Think about a tree. A tree with deep roots can withstand storms, droughts, and the harshest conditions. But a tree with shallow roots, no matter how tall and beautiful it appears, is easily toppled. Inner growth is like the roots of the tree. It grounds you, giving you resilience and strength. External validation, on the other hand, is like the leaves. While they may be pleasing to the eye, they are fragile and seasonal, offering little support when the winds of life begin to blow. One of the most significant challenges people face when prioritizing inner growth is the allure of immediate gratification. External validation offers a quick dopamine hit. A compliment, a promotion, or a new follower on social media can make us feel great in the moment. But relying on these fleeting rewards creates a dependency that ultimately weakens us. We become like beggars, constantly looking to others for crumbs of approval, instead of learning how to feast on the rich banquet of our own achievements and self-worth. Inner growth requires a different kind of mindset. It demands patience, persistence, and a willingness to face uncomfortable truths about yourself. It's not about competing with others or proving your worth to the world. Instead, it's about asking yourself hard questions. Am I living according to my values? Am I making progress toward my goals? Am I becoming the kind of person I respect and admire? These questions shift the focus from what others think of you to what you think of yourself, and that's where true growth begins. Another powerful aspect of inner growth is that it gives you control over your happiness. When your sense of self-worth is tied to external validation, you're at the mercy of forces you can't control. Someone's mood, opinion, or recognition, or lack thereof, can make or break your day. But when your happiness is rooted in your own growth and progress, you regain control. You realize that the only approval you need is your own, and that's a liberating realization. Inner growth also helps you develop a stronger sense of resilience. Life is unpredictable, and there will be times when the validation you crave doesn't come. You might fail at a project, face rejection, or encounter criticism. In these moments, external validation is nowhere to be found, leaving you feeling empty and discouraged. But if you've cultivated inner growth, you have an internal reservoir of strength to draw from. You can remind yourself of your abilities, your past successes, and the value you bring to the table, even when others fail to see it. Moreover, inner growth allows you to contribute to the world in a more meaningful way. When you're focused solely on external validation, your actions often become performative. You do things not because they're right or fulfilling, but because you want to be noticed. This approach limits your impact and prevents you from living authentically. On the other hand, when you prioritize inner growth, you act from a place of integrity. You're driven by purpose, not applause, and this authenticity resonates deeply with others. Ironically, the more you focus on inner growth, the more you naturally inspire and attract genuine respect from those around you. Inner growth also fosters a sense of gratitude and contentment. When you're constantly chasing external validation, you're always looking for the next thing, another accomplishment, another compliment, another round of applause. This chase creates a sense of lack and dissatisfaction because you're focused on what you don't have. But when you invest in inner growth, you begin to appreciate the journey rather than just the destination. You recognize the progress you've made, the lessons you've learned, and the person you're becoming. This perspective fills you with a sense of abundance and peace that external validation can never provide. Additionally, prioritizing inner growth helps you build healthier relationships. When you rely on others for validation, you place an unfair burden on them. You expect them to fill a void that only you can fill, which can lead to disappointment and resentment on both sides. But when you cultivate inner growth, you bring a sense of wholeness to your relationships. Instead of seeking approval, you offer support, understanding, and love, creating connections that are rooted in mutual respect and authenticity. Finally, inner growth is a lifelong journey. It's not something you achieve once and then forget about. It's a continuous process of learning, evolving, and striving to be your best self. This journey keeps you humble, curious, and open to new possibilities. It reminds you that the greatest competition is not with others, but with who you were yesterday. In the fast-paced, interconnected world we live in, solitude often gets a bad reputation. Many equate being alone with loneliness or isolation, believing it to be something to avoid at all costs. However, solitude, when embraced intentionally, is one of the most powerful tools for personal reflection, growth, and self-discovery. It is in solitude that we can step away from the noise, quiet the distractions, and reconnect with our truest selves. At its essence, solitude is a sanctuary, a sacred space where we are free from the expectations and judgments of others. In this space, we are not performing or conforming, we are simply being. For many, this is a foreign concept. Life is often so filled with the demands of work, family, and social obligations that we rarely have the opportunity to just sit with our thoughts. But it is in these moments of quiet introspection that we gain the clarity and insight needed to navigate life's challenges and pursue our dreams. One of the most profound benefits of solitude is its ability to foster deep self-awareness. When we are constantly surrounded by others, it's easy to lose sight of our own values, desires, and needs. We might find ourselves swept up in the opinions and priorities of those around us, compromising parts of ourselves in the process. Solitude creates a pause, a chance to step back and ask, what do I really want? What matters most to me? These are questions that can't be answered in the rush of daily life. They require time, patience, and an environment free of external influences. In solitude, we also have the opportunity to process our emotions. Modern life often encourages us to push aside uncomfortable feelings, distracting ourselves with work, entertainment, or social interactions. But ignoring our emotions doesn't make them go away, it simply buries them deeper, where they can manifest as stress, anxiety, or even physical illness. Solitude allows us to sit with our feelings, to understand them without judgment, and to work through them in a healthy and constructive way. This emotional processing is essential for mental and emotional well-being, and it's a practice that can only truly happen in the quiet of our own company. Another remarkable aspect of solitude is its ability to stimulate creativity. Many of history's greatest artists, writers, and thinkers have credited solitude as the source of their inspiration. When we're alone, our minds are free to wander, unencumbered by the demands or distractions of others. In this mental freedom, we can explore new ideas, connect seemingly unrelated concepts, and dream without limits. Solitude is a fertile ground for innovation, where the seeds of creativity can take root and flourish. Moreover, solitude strengthens our independence and self-reliance. In a world that often emphasizes collaboration and social connection, it's easy to become overly dependent on others for validation, support, or direction. Solitude challenges us to stand on our own, to trust our instincts, and to take responsibility for our decisions. It reminds us that while relationships are important, we are capable of navigating life on our own terms. This sense of independence is empowering, providing a foundation of confidence that carries over into every area of our lives. Solitude also offers a unique perspective on our relationships. When we're constantly surrounded by people, it can be difficult to objectively evaluate the quality and impact of those relationships. But in solitude, we have the space to reflect on the connections we've built. Are they supportive and uplifting? Do they align with our values and goals? Are there relationships that no longer serve us or that need to be mended? These are critical questions that can only be answered when we take the time to step back and assess our interactions from a place of clarity. Additionally, solitude is a powerful tool for recharging our energy. Social interactions, even positive ones, require energy. For some, particularly those who identify as introverts, extended periods of socializing can be draining. Solitude provides an opportunity to rest and replenish, to reset our mental and emotional state, so that we can return to our interactions with renewed enthusiasm and presence. Even for extroverts who thrive on social connection, moments of solitude are essential for maintaining balance and avoiding burnout. One of the most overlooked aspects of solitude is its role in fostering gratitude. When we're constantly moving from one task to the next, it's easy to take things for granted. But in the quiet moments of solitude, we have the chance to reflect on the blessings in our lives, big and small. This practice of gratitude not only enhances our mood, but also shifts our perspective, helping us approach life with greater appreciation and optimism. It's important to note that solitude is not the same as loneliness. Loneliness is a feeling of disconnection and longing for companionship, whereas solitude is a deliberate choice to spend time alone for self-reflection and growth. The difference lies in our mindset and intention. When we embrace solitude as an opportunity rather than a punishment, it becomes a powerful tool for personal transformation. Finally, solitude invites us to slow down. In a culture that often glorifies busyness, it's easy to equate productivity with worth. But constant activity isn't sustainable, and it often comes at the cost of our mental and physical health. Solitude encourages us to pause, to breathe, and to be present in the moment. It reminds us that life is not a race to be won, but a journey to be experienced fully and mindfully. Many people spend their lives searching for the right friends, partners, or colleagues. They wonder why they seem to attract the wrong crowd or why their relationships feel shallow or unfulfilling. The truth is, the people we attract are often a reflection of who we are. To bring the right people into your life, you must first focus on becoming the right person yourself. This is not just about changing your external circumstances. It's about transforming your mindset, habits, and values. At its heart, attracting the right people starts with self-awareness. You need to understand your own strengths, weaknesses, and aspirations before you can build meaningful connections. If you're unclear about who you are or what you want, it's easy to drift into relationships that don't serve you. Becoming the right person means taking time to reflect on your values, your passions, and the kind of life you want to lead. It's about aligning your actions with your beliefs and living authentically. One of the most effective ways to attract the right people is by cultivating a strong sense of self-respect. When you value yourself, others will naturally value you too. This doesn't mean being arrogant or self-absorbed. It means setting boundaries, knowing your worth, and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. People are drawn to confidence, not because it's flashy, but because it signals stability and self-assurance. When you respect yourself, you set the tone for how others should treat you. Personal growth is another critical aspect of becoming the right person. If you want to attract high-quality relationships, you need to invest in your own development. This means continually learning, improving, and challenging yourself to be better. Whether it's acquiring new skills, pursuing your passions, or working on your emotional intelligence, growth makes you more dynamic and engaging. It shows others that you're committed to your own journey, which is inspiring and magnetic. Authenticity is equally important. In a world full of pretense, being genuine stands out. When you show up as your true self, flaws and all, you give others permission to do the same. This authenticity creates deeper connections because it's based on trust and mutual understanding. Pretending to be someone you're not might attract people temporarily, but those relationships are unlikely to last. Being true to yourself ensures that the people you attract appreciate you for who you really are. Another key to becoming the right person is practicing empathy and kindness. People gravitate toward those who make them feel seen and valued. When you take the time to listen, to understand, and to support others, you build trust and goodwill. Empathy doesn't mean agreeing with everyone or solving their problems. It means being present and showing that you care. This quality not only strengthens your existing relationships, but also attracts people who value compassion and connection. Your mindset plays a significant role in the kind of people you attract. If you approach life with a positive, open attitude, you're more likely to draw others with a similar outlook. Negativity, on the other hand, can repel potential connections. This doesn't mean you need to be cheerful all the time, but it does mean cultivating gratitude, optimism, and resilience. A positive mindset is contagious, and it sets the stage for uplifting and inspiring relationships. One of the most overlooked aspects of attracting the right people is understanding that relationships are built on mutual effort. It's not just about what others can do for you, but what you bring to the table. Are you a good friend, partner, or colleague? Do you offer support, encouragement, and value in your interactions? Becoming the right person means taking responsibility for your role in relationships and consistently showing up with integrity and generosity. Clear communication is another essential quality. Many relationships falter because of misunderstandings or unmet expectations. When you express yourself honestly and respectfully, you create an environment where trust can thrive. This also means being willing to have difficult conversations when needed and addressing conflicts with maturity. Effective communication is a cornerstone of meaningful connections, and it's a skill that anyone can develop. Patience is also a crucial part of the process. Attracting the right people doesn't happen overnight. It requires time and effort, and sometimes it means letting go of relationships that no longer align with your values. This can be difficult, but it's a necessary step in creating space for new, more fulfilling connections. Trust that the right people will come into your life when you're ready for them, and focus on becoming the best version of yourself in the meantime. Surrounding yourself with the right people also means being selective. Not everyone will be a good fit for your life, and that's okay. It's better to have a few meaningful relationships than many superficial ones. Becoming the right person involves recognizing your worth and being intentional about who you allow into your life. This selectivity isn't about exclusion, it's about prioritizing quality over quantity. Finally, gratitude is a powerful force in attracting the right people. When you appreciate the relationships you already have, you create an energy of abundance. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, making you more approachable and joyful. This positivity draws others to you and strengthens the connections you've already built. Gratitude also reminds you to celebrate the people who have supported and inspired you along the way. In life, connections are essential. Whether in friendships, family, work, or community, our relationships create the fabric of our experiences. Yet building meaningful connections, bridges between ourselves and others, requires more than just opportunity or desire. It demands courage. Courage to reach out, to be vulnerable, to confront differences, and to invest in the often challenging process of forging genuine relationships. Without courage, the bridges that could bring us closer to others remain unbuilt, leaving us isolated or stuck in the comfort of familiar, yet shallow interactions. At its core, courage is the willingness to face fear or discomfort for a greater purpose. When it comes to relationships, this discomfort often arises from uncertainty. Reaching out to someone new or deepening an existing bond means stepping into unknown territory. Will they accept me? Will they understand my perspective? Will I get hurt? These questions create hesitation. But courage is what allows us to move forward despite these doubts, to take the first step in extending our hand or opening our heart. One of the most challenging aspects of building bridges is overcoming the fear of rejection. Whether it's starting a conversation with a stranger, expressing an honest emotion, or seeking reconciliation after a conflict, the possibility of being turned away is always present. This fear can paralyze us, making it easier to avoid the effort altogether. However, courage reminds us that rejection, while uncomfortable, is not the end. It's a temporary experience that pales in comparison to the potential rewards of connection. Each act of bravery, even in the face of rejection, strengthens our resilience and teaches us valuable lessons about ourselves and others. Vulnerability is another area where courage is essential. True connection doesn't happen when we hide behind walls of perfection or pretense. It happens when we allow ourselves to be seen as we are, flaws, fears, and all. Sharing our authentic selves requires immense bravery, as it exposes us to judgment or misunderstanding. Yet it is precisely this openness that creates trust and intimacy. When we are courageous enough to show our humanity, we invite others to do the same, laying the foundation for relationships built on honesty and mutual respect. Building bridges is not just about connecting with others, it's also about challenging ourselves to grow. Each time we step out of our comfort zone to build or strengthen a relationship, we expand our capacity for empathy, patience, and understanding. Courage allows us to face the discomfort of growth, to confront our own biases or insecurities, and to become better versions of ourselves. This personal transformation not only enhances our relationships, but also enriches every aspect of our lives. The act of bridge building is often an invitation for others to do the same. Courage is contagious. When we take the risk of reaching out, we inspire those around us to reciprocate. Our bravery creates a ripple effect, encouraging others to overcome their own fears and insecurities. In this way, a single act of courage can lead to a web of connections that strengthen communities, workplaces, and families. It's a reminder that courage, while deeply personal, has the power to create collective change. Finally, courage allows us to embrace the imperfections of the bridges we build. No relationship is flawless, and every connection will have its challenges. It's tempting to aim for perfection or to abandon a relationship at the first sign of difficulty. But courage reminds us that imperfection is part of the process. By accepting this reality and continuing to invest in our relationships, we create bridges that are not only strong but also enduring. Life is a series of peaks and valleys. While the peaks, the moments of triumph and joy, are easy to embrace, the valleys, those times of struggle and failure, often feel like insurmountable obstacles. However, it's in these moments of difficulty that our greatest strengths can be forged. Turning setbacks into strengths is not merely a skill, it is a mindset, a way of viewing challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than as barriers to success. Setbacks are inevitable. No matter how carefully we plan or how hard we work, life will occasionally throw unexpected hurdles in our path. These setbacks can take many forms: the loss of a job, a failed relationship, a missed opportunity, or even personal shortcomings that seem to hold us back. At first glance, these experiences may appear to be purely negative, robbing us of confidence, resources, or time. Yet when approached with the right perspective, setbacks can serve as powerful catalysts for personal transformation. The first step in turning setbacks into strengths is accepting them as part of the journey. Too often we resist or deny our failures, viewing them as a sign of weakness or inadequacy. This mindset only compounds the problem, creating shame and preventing us from learning from the experience. Acceptance, on the other hand, shifts our focus from "why did this happen to me" to "what can I learn from this?" This question opens the door to growth, allowing us to extract valuable insights from even the most painful situations. Setbacks are also an opportunity to build resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, and it's a quality that can only be developed through experience. Each setback we face is like a workout for our emotional and mental muscles, teaching us how to endure discomfort, manage stress, and adapt to change. Over time, this resilience becomes a core strength, enabling us to navigate future challenges with greater ease and confidence. Another key to transforming setbacks into strengths is adopting a growth mindset. A growth mindset, as popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck, is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. With this perspective, setbacks are no longer seen as failures but as opportunities to improve. For example, losing a job might initially feel like a devastating blow, but it could also be the push needed to explore a new career path, learn new skills, or start a business. A growth mindset reframes setbacks as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Perspective is a powerful tool in this process. When we encounter a setback, it's easy to become consumed by frustration or self-pity. However, taking a step back and viewing the situation from a broader perspective can reveal its hidden benefits. Many successful individuals attribute their achievements to past failures, noting that those moments of struggle forced them to rethink their approach, innovate, or discover strengths they didn't know they had. By shifting our perspective, we can begin to see setbacks as necessary detours that lead to greater destinations. Setbacks also teach us the value of perseverance. When things don't go as planned, it can be tempting to give up or lower our expectations. But every setback is a test of our commitment and determination. Perseverance doesn't mean blindly pushing forward without reflection. It means staying the course while continuously learning and adapting. This persistence builds character and fortitude, qualities that not only help us overcome challenges, but also earn the respect and admiration of others. One of the most empowering aspects of setbacks is their ability to reveal our inner strength. In moments of difficulty, we often discover that we are capable of far more than we realized. Setbacks force us to dig deep, to find creative solutions, and to push through discomfort. This process can be incredibly empowering, reminding us that our potential is far greater than we often give ourselves credit for. Each time we overcome a setback, we build a reservoir of strength that we can draw on in the future. Setbacks also provide an opportunity to reassess our priorities and goals. Sometimes a failure or disappointment occurs because we were pursuing something that wasn't truly aligned with our values or passions. A setback can serve as a wake-up call, prompting us to reevaluate our direction and make adjustments. This clarity can lead to greater fulfillment and success in the long run, as we shift our focus toward goals that resonate more deeply with who we are. Moreover, setbacks foster empathy and connection. When we experience difficulty, we gain a deeper understanding of the struggles others face. This shared experience of overcoming adversity can strengthen our relationships as we relate to others on a more profound level. Empathy born from setbacks makes us better friends, leaders, and collaborators, enhancing our ability to build meaningful connections. Finally, setbacks often ignite creativity and innovation. When the usual path is blocked, we are forced to think outside the box and explore alternative solutions. Some of the world's greatest inventions, businesses, and works of art have emerged from moments of failure or frustration. These moments challenge us to break free from conventional thinking and discover new possibilities. The creative problem-solving skills developed through setbacks can become one of our most valuable assets.